Check his shit out. Awesome. This next guy is also awesome in a massively awesome way. Enough awesome. His name's Psych. He's a former attendee of the 21 Convention in 2008. Adam Lyons, actually, that year, pointed him out. He's like, this guy's going to be freaking awesome. And you know what? He came back next year and spoke in 2009 in Orlando at 21 Convention.
First convention.
Yeah.
First one talking, yeah.
First one he spoke at. Did a totally awesome job. Very popular online. Awesome guy. Keep saying that. And now he's here in Stockholm. Totally badass. So second year speaking. Who would have thought it'd be in Europe, Stockholm, Sweden, with all these beautiful svenska flickas. But anyway, I'll let you take it away, man. Kick some ass.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Stockholm, Sweden. Fuck. I gotta tell you, man. I've been in this for like 4 years now, running game, coaching for 3. I never thought I'd go international. Never thought I'd be here. Okay, a little bit about me, right? Who's Psych? Who's this guy standing in front of you talking to you guys, right? I got into this 4 years ago at 2006. Basically, hit it hardcore. I'm going to talk about what I did to get good, but a year later, I found myself teaching this stuff. And around 2007, I actually got a big break. How many people here know about MTV? I was on the show Made as a dating coach. So that was a big break for me, and I got recognized really quickly. I started working with PUA training about 2008. I met a great guy named AFC Adam, and just started sailing off, man. It really did. I was a guy that started doing the boot camps with him. I did it when he couldn't come. And 2009, a new surprise happened. Wasn't expecting it, but I got Best New PUA title. I was actually in Vegas in the time. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but when I saw that, I'm like, really? It keeps progressing, right? Then 2010, just now, I actually got another title, Best Natural Game. And that means a lot to me, because I'm going to talk about my style before and where I got to now. I see some problems in this community. I see a lot of problems. Actually, you know what? I want to apologize to you guys. I want to apologize to you guys because if you were like me, you came into this community because you wanted to get natural confidence, right? Instead, we gave you routines and lines to hide behind. You came into this because you wanted to, become more social and outgoing. Instead, we had you sit home coming up with interactive value displays for getting more IOIs or some shit. You wanted more women. We gave you more men. So for this, I am sorry. However, there's a ray of shining hope out there. Because when I got into this, the wave of the community was basically all these lines, routines, very manipulative, about 4 years ago. Then we got a new wave, and it got into this whole idea of natural game, even though it was more chaotic and a little bit crazy. And then the third wave started coming, and that's, I think, where we are now, where we're kind of hit reboot. Me and my friend Chris Hart, who wants to be called now, we started joking about this because to us, the whole community basically just hit a whole reboot. If you notice this, we realized we were going down a dark path. We realized we were going someplace we didn't want to be, and it wasn't working. There's a little funny saying here that 95% of the community doesn't get good. So that means basically this guy is going to get laid like a rock star and fuck the rest of you. Yeah, go him. Right? Is that right? Because that wasn't my idea when I got into this. That wasn't my idea. My idea was I come in, I learn the material, I read what's out there, I apply it, and then I get the fuck out. How many people here have been in this longer than 6 months? If you've been here longer than 6 months and you're still here, there is a problem in all of this. Unless you're a speaker. There's a problem. You've been in here for longer than 6 months. As long as you're going out and applying this stuff, why are you still here? How long are you going to be here? A year? 2 years? Why is this community not progressing, getting good? What is going on that's causing all this? Again, though, I'm seeing this new wave. I'm seeing it where it's starting to actually happen. We got great speakers here. You know, Gonsalves here. I've heard him speak. I missed it yesterday, but from what I know about him, great guy. I see a lot of progression. I like this reboot because now it's not about this whole like, oh, pickup mentality. You know, got to fuck the chick as much. A little bit. You know, it's still there. Let's be honest. But we're more emphasizing the idea of being social. Again, I talked about this last time. I hate the term pickup artist. I liked it when I first got into it, but then I realized there's so much more than that. I want the term social artist. This helps in everything if we go the right way, right? So I was talking about this whole 6-month thing. Now, if I had a student that came to me, and after I coached him, he did not get good within 6 months, as long as he was practicing and applying what was taught, I feel I let him down as a coach. I really would. Because there's no reason. It took me 2 years to get to the level I really wanted to get to. About maybe 3 to get like sick, but 2 years was I was happy. It shouldn't take that long. You guys should not be here 6 months still searching for an answer. I guarantee all of you know way too much as it is. I guarantee you guys have read a shitload, you know this stuff, and you're here trying to get more. But you're not going to get it here. You're going to get out there, right? So with that, I'm going to apologize. But there is some hope. There is something we can do for you guys. Now, I want to start this off by saying, when I want to learn game, I went two routes. I went a very structured way, right? And then I got this whole natural way. And it was pretty cool. You know, I just got this whole best natural game thing. But I actually wanted to integrate the two styles because there's goods and bads of both. With the structured approach, we have a system of learning. We have an idea of what we're doing, right? That what is important. However, it kind of messes us up because women don't follow a script. You can't make how you do things into a science. I'm actually working on my PhD in psychology right now. I know the psychology of it all. And you can't make it into a science. What you do can be a science. What we're doing will work, but how we do it has to be an art. That's why an artist, not a scientist, right? So when I have students, I quickly learned I have to teach them what to do. And what I do and what all my students do and my coaches is the same. How we go about doing it is different. And when I made this realization, I came up with something I call the VI system. I'm going to explain that in a bit. But basically, the what to do is a structure. It is a science. How we go about doing that is the art. And I want you guys to really understand that when I go over this system with you. Because it's not meant to be some routine, structured type thing. It's meant to be a guide that you can put your own personality into, you can put your own self into, but you have that structure of what to do, but how you do it, I want it to be natural. Because you know what? Maybe this guy is a super, dominant alpha, sexual aggressive guy. Maybe this guy is the, really comical and high charisma and high energy. Maybe this guy's chill and laid back, and he just, pushes the girl away and makes her keep coming. It all works, right? You've seen these kind of guys. You've seen these different styles. Why do they all work? And it bugged me. So I was looking for that common answer for so long. And I realized what they did was the same. But how they did it was different. And that's the power of this, all right? So I'm going to ask you, guys, a simple question. Very simple question. Especially for a room filled of pickup artists, social artists, whatever. What do you guys think, at the most fundamental level, at its core, causes attraction? I'll give you a hint. It's two things that I found. At its core. I'm not talking about something like confidence, which is a characteristic that causes it. It does. But why does confidence? Just ask yourself why. Why? Why does confidence cause attraction? Why does humor cause attraction? Because it does. Why does ambition cause attraction? Why does all these things we do? What are the two fundamental things it all boils down to? Anyone want to take a guess? Masculinity? Good try now.
You give him good emotions.
Very close. You give him good emotions. Yeah? Expression. It's a what to, but why does expression work? Why does giving him good emotions? Think about that one. Why does giving him...
Reward system, right?
Reward system. So what reward do they want?
What?
Why do they want a reward? What does that mean to them?
Why do they want a reward?
Okay. What the first thing that causes attraction that we want is value. It shouldn't come too much as a surprise, right? We got these things called DHVs and interactive value display, all these things with value, right? It shouldn't come to a surprise. Good emotions, valuable. It's valuable to a girl. But there's 3 types of value. There's the DHVs where we try to sub-communicate this value and we talk about it, but the problem is it comes off kind of bragging. Very easy to fall in that trap. Second form is a little bit more powerful, a little bit cooler. That's showing value, right? Imagine if I said, hey, guess what, guys? I just won a lottery. I got $20 million. It's cool. That's me DHVing. I got $20 million. What? Now let's say I took it out and I showed you the cash. It's like, whoa, a little bit more cooler, right? But there's a third one that's even more powerful. What if I said, you know what? I got $20 million and I'm taking all of you guys out to Vegas with me and we're going to go party. On me. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, all right. Right? I'm giving value. And that's the most powerful form I want you guys to realize. The idea with this in my VI system is giving value. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to structure that for you. But what's the next thing, though? What's something that can trump even value? It relies on it, but it can trump it. Intent, close. Pre-selection is value. It makes you valuable. Make the girl what? One more? What's another word? Chase. Investment is what I'm looking for. Right? There's a universal principle in any social interaction that is value for value. Anyone you talk to, anyone you deal with, any interaction you have, there's a value exchange going on. You're giving some value to them, and they're giving some value to you, if it's good. If there's a break in that, the interaction ends, for whatever reason. So when we get value from someone, it's investment. So what it comes down to, in my mind, is we give value, we get investment back. Once we give a girl value, and then she starts investing in us, attraction occurs. And these two interplay on each other. But don't take my word for it. I want to quote something I do every boot camp, everything I do. And that is a quote from the Buddha. And that is, question all that I teach you. All right? I want you guys to question me. I want you guys to challenge me on this. And not just me, everyone. Anyone you learn from, I want you to question it. I want you to use your own brains instead of just reading it and applying it, because I fell into that trap. And the problem is, there's conflicting theories. It's confusing. How can both guys be right, right? How many people here, probably just the first day, I'm going to guess, heard 2 conflicting ideas? Anyone? Already from the speakers, yeah. From the first day, we already heard conflicting ideas. But I guarantee they both know what they're talking about. So how does that work? All right. So let's prove it. You have to question and see what makes sense for you. So let me prove this to you guys, right? Let's say I have 2 lamps. This lamp is really bright, really big, has a pretty design on it, okay? The second lamp, that's the first one. The second lamp is not so bright, kind of dull, not so much of a pretty design, a little bit smaller. Which one do you guys want? Which one do you guys want? The first one, right? Now why? Because it has value. We see that. I want the first lamp, I want the brighter one, I want the one that's more valuable. But now let's add to the story. Same 2 lamps, right? First one, bright, shiny, pretty, whatever. Second one, a little bit dull, not so bright, not so big. But the second one, you guys spent like 6 hours in shop class sweating over and making with your own 2 hands. That's your lamp. You're only allowed to keep one. Which one do you guys want now? Second one. Wait a minute, but it's not as bright, it's not as pretty. So it's a new thing's happening here, investment. We value that which we work for, and actually investment will trump value. I just proved it to you guys. You can see that. So what I started doing was, you know what? I would battle these guys with all this value. There's always going to be a guy that's more shiny than me, better looking than me, more money than me, some kind of more value than I have. But I'm the second little stumpy lamp. And I'll get the investment from it. And I would beat those guys. True story, I actually battled for a girl with the owner of the Miami Heat, which is a basketball team in Florida. And his whole game was name a Beatles song, I'm going to give you guys $100. That's the guy I was battling with, who was like, oh, I know basketball players, I'll hook you guys up, right? Understanding this principle, I was able to turn that value against him while I got investment from the girl and was able to isolate her away from him. But that proved to me, I'm like, value's not everything. That's when I really made that click. Value is not everything. But let's add to the story now. I have this new invention, new story. I have this new invention. It's great, great idea. I want to sell crap-flavored ice cream. No, you laugh, but I swear to God this can sell. I know it can sell, right? The only problem is I need $10,000 to start up this business. Who wants to help me out? Who wants to be my investor? Come on, come on. Who wants to invest? And I swear to God, if you raise your hand, I will do it. Who wants to invest in $10,000 for crap-flavored ice cream? No one?
Your
Okay.
crap or my crap?
Both. We can all different types of it. We can see he's a thinker. No.
I like different
We'll get some corn ones in. No, but basically what happens is we don't want to invest in anything without the value. So yeah, investment trumps value, but how can we get investment without the value? And the people who try end up being very manipulative or just creepy. You're always trying to get something for nothing, right? Con artist, yeah, exactly. I don't want to give that girl that impression. I'm trying to get something for nothing. So these two interplay with each other very much. And we can start seeing that. All right. So hopefully I've proven to you guys that all of attraction is based on these two things. We give value, and then we get investment. Once that occurs, attraction takes place. And you know what? It doesn't work just for girls and guys. It works the same way with you. If a girl gives you value, maybe it's her looks that's valuable. Right? You see a hot girl, value. What do we start doing when we see the hot girl? We start trying to game them. We start going after them. Oh, look at that. Now we're investing. And the more we do that, the more attractive we become. It's the same exact principle. This is the psychology of attraction in place. Both ways. But now we can go on more from here. How do we break this down a little bit further to make this work? I can just be like, give value and get investment, but how do you go about doing that, right? What is value in its best form? What is investment in its best form? So let's take a look at this. When I started thinking about it, I started wondering which one of my approaches always went well. What was I doing that was making things work with guys and girls? What I came up with was warmth. The very beginning of this has to start with warmth. I think a lot of people can agree that this is a lot like sales, right? You know, we're trying to sell ourselves to a woman almost. Show me a salesman, and maybe it's different here in Stockholm, but at least in America, show me a salesman that doesn't come off as the warmest, friendliest fucker you've ever met as soon as you meet him. Right? There's a reason they do that. Because we value people who come off as friendly, warm, and who give value. That's the idea of warmth. Friendly, being likable, giving value. We don't want anything in return. We're just that warm, friendly guy. When you do that to a girl, she's going to reciprocate. She's going to accept you in there. When I first started doing this, I was doing very active disinterest, being very cold, being very, I'm not into you, I was cold towards her. And then what I was getting was a lot of these ice queens. These girls would be cold back. I never got it. I was like, why is this happening? She was mirroring what I was giving her. I was being the ice king. Of course she's going to be the ice queen. You get what you give. So I switched up a bit. I started being the warmest, friendliest guy first. I had a smile on my face. I was like, hey, how's it going? Just being that warm, friendly guy. All of a sudden, everything started blowing open. I got accepted everywhere. The guys were loving me. The girls were loving me, right? It got me in. I was giving value to them any way I could. I didn't want anything from them. They knew it was. The active disinterest was there because I wasn't going in trying to immediately pick the girl up. Sometimes it could work, and I could explain that, but I was basically just come off as this likable guy. And they were like, okay, cool, likable guy. We like him. So it started working that way. However, the problem is you can't get stuck around here, right? This has to lead to something. Something more valuable to actually make the girl want your presence, not get caught up as a friend or something. And here's the thing, the rest of this, about this formula and equation I'm going to talk about. I said how, the what to do is a science, the how to do is the art. There's one more thing I want to add to this. There's a lot of methods out there, or a lot of systems out there that says you do attraction first and then comfort second, right? Or you do comfort first and then attraction second. I found a real problem with this type of approach. Because what would happen is, the first thing you start doing is what you get labeled as. You only make one first impression. They immediately classify you, immediately put you in a category. Now, if you're the guy that does attraction first and then comfort second, you're the player. Even if you start doing the comfort stuff afterwards, too late, you're the player. It's an uphill battle. You got to fight for that now. If you do a lot of comfort first and then start doing the attraction, you're a friend. You're stuck in that friend zone. You can try to do the attraction stuff out and get yourself out of it, but again, an uphill battle, right? So now I'm like, well, I'm fucked. I'm doomed here. How do I get out of that? What's the solution? And I realized it's a tightrope act. One doesn't come before the other. Or if it does, it's immediately followed by the next one. It's tit for tat. I do a little bit of attraction, then comfort, then attraction, then comfort. I build it up bit by bit. So everything you do, don't think of it as this first, got that, okay, got attracted, now this. Nothing is linear. I'm hopefully is going to represent that a bit, right? But I want to show you how this kind of thing works. So keep that principle in mind. So what does this lead to? Okay. It leads to what I call playful vibing. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about, cocky funny and all that, right? I like it. I sprinkle in cocky funny. I do a little bit of that. The only problem is if it's the bread and butter of what I do, it can come off as arrogant. It can sometimes come off as a little bit uncalibrated. The girl rolls her eyes like, okay, It can be funny. It can work. It's legit. But I just couldn't make my bread and butter. What I could do, though, to make my bread and butter, is playful vibing. That I can do with a girl all day. And it perfectly balances attraction with comfort. So let's start breaking these down bit by bit. So we'll start with playful. Most community guys understand the playful stuff. Most of the, 85% of the stuff out there is based on how to be playful. The role plays, the cold reading, the future projections, the teasing, the bantering, all of it almost, pretty much, is how to be playful with the girl, right? Now, you can use all that stuff. It's great. I do it too. I play games with girls. I do all that, But the essence is you're supposed to be having fun with it. It's supposed to be a game. If you're not having fun, you're not playing this game. So what I realized is I had to stop being playful for her and be playful for me. One, for my own sanity, and two, it actually made my game tighter. I wasn't worried about her so much. I was giving her value in a form of fun. My good friend Sin, he said this before, the ultimate attraction switch is fun. And think about anyone. If anyone you hang out with and you have fun with, you're going to gravitate towards that person. It's valuable. What he talked about, the positive emotions, that's what playful should be doing. We want to be giving those positive emotions. We want to be having fun with these girls. You're allowed to, right? But the problem is we get a little too caught up in it sometimes. Problem is sometimes you become a little dancing monkey. You become like, oh, the class clown. Hey, look what I can do. Puppet act and shit. Not the best, right? So we have to balance it. We have to balance it with vibing. Now, the funny thing is, I talk about vibing. Everyone's like, oh, I want to learn the playful shit. Don't worry about vibing. And I'm like, well, why? And they'll go, well, I already know how to do that. I know how to vibe. Come on, I can talk, whatever. I'm like, really? Okay. How many people here run out of shit to say sometimes in set? I know a lot of guys here can learn some more vibing skills then. Because if you know how to vibe properly, you never run out of things to say. I'm not talking about having stock material and stock cans. I'm talking about if you're having interaction with a girl and talking, everything she says should lead to another topic you can talk about. I literally never run out of things to say in set anymore, or any conversation. I could always keep it going. Sometimes to my own fault, basically, But you should never run out of things to say. And you should see what topics you can go to. I do a lot of exercise with my guys on how to do this properly and how to spot these leads that a girl gives you. For example, I'm from Miami, right? I meet a girl. I ask a simple vibing question. Where are you from? She says New York. Okay. What can I talk about now? What are my options? What leads did she give me? I can talk about New York. I can talk about what she's doing in Miami. I can talk about traveling from New York to Miami. I could talk about some New York-related topic, maybe Sex and the City. That movie just came out. Endless possibilities. I can talk about Chinese food in New York and how that blows away Miami Chinese food. I can talk about my past visit to New York and my experiences. Seeing him where the mafia guy was shot in Little Italy. All these things I have. She just said one thing. But the leads are endless if you start seeing them. And what I realized is, at first I could only see maybe one lead. Like she'd say New York, I'm like, okay, New York. Yeah, New York's a beautiful place, right? But as I got better at this, I started just endless. And then I started being able to bring it to anywhere I wanted to. She could say anything, and I'd be able to turn the topic into any topic I wanted. And that's when I realized there's something going on with this vibing, and there's right ways to do it. Get out of that interview mode and that style. But again, how you want to be playful, how you want to vibe, totally up to you, right? But how does this look tit for tat, I was talking about? How do we balance this? Because again, it's not just do a lot of playfulness and then we have to balance it with a lot of vibing. Because too much vibing, you're this boring guy. There's no fun. Yeah, it's great because you got on the same wavelength as a girl. You show you got a lot of commonalities. These are all very valuable to her. You guys can, connect a little bit. But we still need to show, we need this to be a tightrope act, and it has to be careful. All right, so how would it look like? This is a more extreme example of tit for tat. It's not usually this kind of dry, but let's say I ask a girl again where she's from, right? Vibing. We'll pick a new place. Let's say she's from South Carolina, all right? And now I'll go playful. So I'll say something like, "You're from South Carolina. You must have that accent." Later on, you got to say something like, "I think something bounced up in my undercarriage," right? I'll make fun of the accent, a little bit playful. She might laugh a bit, and then I go back to vibing and go, "No, but seriously, I actually heard it's really beautiful. I've never been there." Back to vibing, right? She'll say, "Oh yeah, it's the best place ever." I'm like, "Easy now, come on. We know it doesn't beat Miami. Let's not lie. Let's not kid ourselves." Back to playful. Again, we can teaser, go back and forth. I'm not staying on one too long. I'm not going back to the other. All right, so hopefully you guys understand this thing. Now, look at this. If you've given value to a girl, right, you've improved, and by giving value, I mean a simple thing, because people ask me, what does that mean, giving value, right? It means improving her day, improving her night. Meeting you has had a positive impact on this girl. That is giving value. So I'm giving value, and I'm coming off very warm and friendly. She has a lot of fun with me when she's around, and we're on the same wavelength, and we connect, and we found a lot of commonalities and connections. That's all you need for value. You don't need the, crazy DHV story where, you're the super pimp guy or something. It sounds douchey, to be honest. I'm sure you guys have said that. At least I did, where I'm saying I'm kind of winced a little bit. I'm like, that's not me. And sometimes a girl will even be like, oh, they give me a little smile. It's like, okay, yeah, you think you're cool. Right? It's douchey. So, to some level it can work. Again, DHVs do work, but again, it's the most shallow form of value you can do. And it's the most easiest one to backfire on, as long as you're just giving her value, giving her a fun time, having commonalities, the girl's gonna like you. She's gonna think of you as some valuable guy to wanna be around. But we're not done here yet. All of this has just literally opened the door. And this is another big mistake a lot of guys make. They open the door for attraction to take place, and then they do nothing and it closes. So do a lot of value shit, and they'll open it again. The girl's ready, and they do nothing and the door closes, right? At some point, we open the door for it. The potential's there. She sees the value. She wants it. But now we have to get her to come through the door. And we do that with the investment. So how do we start investment? Well, actually, let me make it look pretty. We do that with qualification. Now, when I say qualification, I mean two things. I mean emotional investment, where she's sharing her story, she's qualifying herself to us, and by qualification, it's the act of her trying to prove herself to us. Her trying to show what makes her special. Why is she someone I should be interested in? I already have my value. I'm the, value-giving, fun guy who's on the same wavelength as her. She sees my potential. Now I got to get her to show hers, other than her looks. So how do I do that? I have to get that qualification. I have to get her proving herself to me. In my mind, the highest level of game is not when I'm gaming the girl, it's when she's gaming me. I don't want to give my DHV stories. I want to hear her crazy stories. I want to see what games she knows that she can teach me. Often, if you qualify the girls the right way, they have these funny, quirky things they can do. I learned a lot about girls. For example, I'll show you one thing I learned a year or two ago. How many people here go to a club and have a hard time hearing what the girl says? I had the same issue until I met a girl and she showed me a cool trick. If you just push in your ear right here, it blocks out the background noise. Watch, push it in, and go, ah. How much better can you hear yourself a little bit? It's almost like a louder inside your head. Ah. You'll see, go to a club, and when your girl talks to you, go like this, all the white noise goes, and you can hear her. Sickest thing I've ever seen. And I could teach a girl this as a form of giving value. Some other shit. Some girl literally 2 nights ago showed me some hand slap thing where I go like this. And she showed me some fun game of hers. That's what I want. Some British girl. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for, right? I want her to show me what makes her cool, what makes her unique, what makes her special, right? And has another great benefit, which is I got to see if this is a girl I actually like, if I actually care about. Now, granted, some of us just want to go through a man whore phase and just rack up lays and whatnot. It's fair, right? We all go through that phase. However, it's still important to do that because she gets to work for you. You're going to be the guy that just chills back and she's trying to impress you and get you a bit. You've already done the job here. It's her turn to show how she's fun and her ways to show how she can give value in some ways. It's fair, value for value. It's a law of social interaction. Qualification also means something else, though, that we can get investment for, and that is compliance. Every time the girl does something for me, maybe it's just leading away from her friends or isolating. Maybe it's bouncing out of the club. Maybe it's just having her sit on my lap. It could be anything. Anytime a girl does something for me or complies to a request, she's qualifying herself. She's working for me. And the more she does it, the more attracted she becomes. She might not realize it on a conscious level, but on a subconscious level, you will see it constantly building. Every time she does something, she gets more and more into it. She's chasing. She works hard for it. Basically, I become that little lamp. And another big, douchey, cool guy can come by, but she's already into me now. It's done. I know her dorky secret. One of my favorite qualifiers is tell me a dorky secret about you. I get to see the real her. I get to go through that club programming shit that she has up, that little social mask. I plow through that. I get to see the real her, right? But this is not enough. It's not enough. Because if she invests in us and we do nothing with that investment, it's useless. It fizzles. I remember I was getting a lot of girls to invest and qualify herself and comply and everything. And then at the end of it, all of a sudden, nowhere, she was like, anyway, I got to go. And she walked away. And I was like, how did that happen? What? This all makes sense, right? I gave the value. She did all the work. She was chasing after me. What the hell happened? I was missing that final step. Emotional connection and sexual escalation. How many people here know what operant conditioning is? Okay. Anyone in this community should know that term. It's a psychological term. Basically, it's reward and punishment. Operant conditioning. It's a behavioral, it's an actual proven psychological technique. It's done by behavioral psychologists. And what it means is if someone does something we like, we reward the good behavior. If they do something we don't like, we punish the bad behavior. All right? So let's say a girl doesn't qualify, and we can do this. Let's say, and this is the whole thing. Now let's say a girl doesn't qualify. Let's say she doesn't try to prove her to us, right? We have to punish the bad behavior, unfortunately. But then we try to find a smaller way, a better way for her to invest again. We don't want her to start hating us, we got to do a little bit of punishment, but let's try again. However, what if she does it? Because if she keeps investing and chasing it and we don't reward it, she's going to be like, why am I doing this? What am I getting out of it now? I'm guaranteed there's been a lot of times where you've been doing all this stuff for the girl, right? Really trying to get this girl. And she's just kind of like, just chilling, like, not really rewarding you at all for it. And you're like, I guess this girl's just not into me, fuck her, right? And you just move on. Same thing happens with the girl. She's doing all this work, and if you're not rewarding it, she figures you're not into her. And then she moves on. This was the final cake I had to figure out. I had to realize I had to reward, but how do I reward it? What is the proper way to go about creating attraction? I can't just give her $1 every time she does it, right? I have to I have to give her a legit reward. I can't give her a food pellet. That's not going to work either. Yeah. Here's a cookie. So what I came up with was 2 types of reward systems. One is building an emotional connection, and one is building sexual escalation. And again, if you notice it, basically warmth and comfort, attraction, attraction, comfort, attraction, comfort. Everything's a seesaw. The whole thing's a little balance act, right? So how do we reward with emotional connection? Praise. We tell her we like her. Right? Every POA in the group's like, can't do that. Can't let a girl know I like her. Yes, you can. Yes, that's why you like the girl. You know how many like self-esteems you're like shattering? The girl works for you. You're this awesome guy. She's trying to get you. She probably already has a lot of these female insecurities to begin with. And now you can't even let her like know you like her because you have to be cool and hard to get. It goes to a certain extent. We got to realize at some point it's okay to create mutual attraction. If you're make out with a girl and you don't think you have mutual attraction, she doesn't know it, and you still try to play aloof or whatever, now you're just a guy that doesn't own up to his masculinity, his intention. Right? A girl will forgive a guy for being a man. She won't forgive him for being a pussy. She won't. A lot of people, like, they see my style and they say, oh, this guy's really indirect. He's super indirect guy. And it's true. I'm very indirect. But as soon as a girl goes direct on me, or as soon as I see that interest from the girl that she wants it, I switch hardcore. I'll be as direct as any guy. I'll be the first guy to push up against the wall and make out with him. Or finger him in a club, or whatever it is. I switch and I switch hard. And that's how you guys have to be as well. That indirect shit only goes so far. Great in the beginning, friendly, warm guy, playing value, tell me some stuff about you. But as soon as I see that she wants it, I give it. Right? It's not going to hurt your point. She's expecting it, It's a good thing. We want to build that emotional connection. We want to give her praise. However, I did come up with another thing. At first, when I came up with this, I actually realized something. At first, I would reward by telling her some emotional story of mine. I would tell her like how I was adopted and how that affected me, and seeing 16 years later the note I got from my birth mother, and some deep stuff, right? And what I realized is after I told that story, I was like, wow, and she smiled, she goes, oh, she gave me praise, right? And I was like, I feel for this girl. This girl's so awesome. After I shared a big part of myself, I actually felt a strong connection towards that girl. But I realized, wait a minute. I thought I wanted it the other way around. Right? I was falling for these girls now, and I'm like, fuck, like, what's going on? And it's good. It's not bad, obviously. But again, I'm trying to figure out ways to get her to also, come to me. So I backwards rationalized. I said, if I'm telling these personalized stories to the girl, I want to hear her personalized stories. Again, just like I came with the realization of, I don't want to give my DXV stories and my cool, all my fun games and stuff. I do, but I'd rather hear hers. I want to hear her stories. I want to hear how she was teased maybe when she was, in school. Because that's what's going to make her really connected to me. I'm going to see the side of her no one else gets to see. And that goes through qualification, but it also creates that emotional connection. This is not about what we can do for her. Well, it is. We always want to leave her better than we found her. But the attraction comes for how much she does for us once we have that value there. So there are a lot of ways I started finding emotional connections. I started creating these gooey moments with a girl. I'm going to talk about a real huge realization I had with both of these things, but that's emotional connection. The other reward is going to be a more fun way for some of you guys, and that's sexual escalation, right? We need to create sexual tension. We need to create that to happen. And basically what we're trying to do is it's a tension release type game. We build this tension with sexuality, and then we release it a little bit, but then build it right back. A little bit more stronger. Release a little bit, but then we build it back stronger, right? And we keep doing it. It's basically mind fucking until it becomes physical. We also reward in increments, right? She does something for me I like. Oh, cool, okay, give her a little half hug. She does something for me I really like. Oh, now you get a full hug, right? She does something for me I really like. Now we're kissing, right? It keeps building. It's not what most guys do. I see. Actually, can I have someone step up here real quick? Who wants to be? Come up. When I say sexual escalation, it actually has to escalate. What I see a lot of community guys do is this kind of thing. I'm like, all right, sexually escalate. All right, cool. Ooh. Yeah, cool, right? I go, okay, fine, fair. Now, all right, keep sexually escalating. All right, sexually escalate a little bit harder. You just keep doing this. I don't know, this is not escalate. I don't know what this is. They think her clit's in her elbow or something, and they just keep tapping it. Thanks. Thanks. Like, that's not sexually escalating. That doesn't get us anywhere, right? You actually have to be a man, pull the trigger, take a risk. How many people here think you lose value when you go for the kiss and she gives you the cheek? Yeah, everyone's like, no now. But I guarantee you a lot of people had that realization or had that mindset. I did, at least. I was scared shitless of going for the kiss because I felt if I went for that kiss and I did not get it, my value drops. I'm done. Yeah? Interesting thing occurred, though. I started experimenting with this. I remember being in a club, and I started dancing with this girl, right? And I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to go for the kiss. I'm just going for it. And it was actually a social circle, too. But I went for the kiss, and I got the cheek. I'm like, fuck, my value dropped. Fucking A. But you know what? She's still dancing on me. It's still, she could leave, but she's still dancing on me. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll go again. She's still dancing on me, so I go for it again. I get the cheek. But she's still dancing on me. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see what happens. I'm just going to keep going for it until she either leaves or it happens, you know? So I go for it again. I get the cheek. I go for it again. I get the cheek. I go for it a fifth time. All of a sudden, we start making out. And not did we just start making out, but on the dance floor, we made out till the club closed. We were just going at on each other for like 2 hours. Her friends were trying to pull her away, and she was not budging. It was the craziest experience. I was just like, we're just glued together at this point. Fast forward 2 months. I'm dancing with a girl, new one now, right? I'm like, I'm going to go for the kiss again. I go for the kiss, I get a cheek. And I'm like, well, I know the effective way of going about this, right? I know what could happen if I go 5 times, but I'm a lazy fuck. I want to get efficient now. I don't want to wait till that. So what I do instead is, when a girl gives you a cheek, she also gives you something better, her neck. So when a girl gave me her cheek, I'm like, you know what? I don't really need a kiss. I just start kissing on her neck. She's allowed me to do this, right? She already gave it to me. I'm kissing her neck. I'm like, all right, I'm making out with her neck, basically, give her a little hickey or whatnot. What more can I get away with? I haven't kissed her yet, but maybe I can get an ass grab out of this. Start grabbing her ass. Well, okay, what more can I get away with this? Well, she had a slit in the back of her skirt, so I just put my hand right in there and get it under her dress. That's cool. Well, what more can I get away with this? Haven't kissed her yet. Haven't kissed her yet. But I'm like, do I really want to go back? Nah, I'm going to go forward. I'm going to see what more I can get away with. I just want to experiment here. So I go under, and now I'm starting to rub her over her panties. What more can I get away with? I go through her panties. I'm starting to finger her on the dance floor. Still haven't kissed her yet. Finally, I stop. I look at her. I'm like, maybe can I go for the kiss again? Should I try this? Funny enough, I got it now, right? And it happened fast. I didn't have to go through the 5 kiss system. I got efficient at it. So this is all about sexually escalating the right way. I wasn't dancing on her and thinking, oh, she gave me her neck. Maybe I can just do an elbow touch. No, I was escalating the whole time. Now, a really cool thing happened with these 2 things. About 3 weeks ago, I got to experience the extremes of these back to back. Normally, I'm all about balancing it, right? The idea is you build a strong emotional connection while strongly sexually escalating. So she qualifies herself, cool. Build a little bit of emotional connection. She qualifies herself again or complies, now I sexually escalate. Next time I emotionally connect, then I sexually escalate. I go back and forth, right? So each time she feels better and better and she gets more and more aroused. Also, I want to point out, we can sexually escalate in 2 ways. Right? I'm sure a lot of people are like, how the fuck is that possible? I only know one way, and it's touching them, right? That's one. Another one that I really like to do is arousal through words. Men are very visual. Women are auditorial. They love dirty talk. If you know how to talk to them the right way, it has a powerful effect. You have to learn dirty talk. You have to learn how you can get them aroused with your words. Because that arousal is what's going to lead them to want to become sexual with you. Touching, does help, but a lot of times a girl feels that it's something she's giving to the guy. Because you're socially conditioned to believe that when you start, getting sexual with a girl, she's giving instead of getting. If you word it properly, it should be done as she's getting too. But if we're doing dirty talk, it's all for her. That will get her really going, especially since she's auditorial. Anyways, back to my story. 2 weeks ago, I experienced a real cool phenomenon. On Saturday, I met a girl, and she had a boyfriend, right? So I didn't really sexually escalate too much, but she was a really cool girl. And I started realizing we started bantering, right? We had nothing in common. We actually started off really not liking each other. Like, I was like, this girl's, oh, she doesn't know about, she never saw The Hangover and Knocked Up. I can't even talk to this girl, right? And she's into like weird shit, like taking pictures of trash or some shit, right? But, like really, I was just like, okay. But she was great at bantering. And we just went at each other. We were like cats and dogs, just going at each other. But it'd been a lot of cool flirty tension. And then what happened was the next night, we started a Skype chat. Got our Facebook, started on Facebook, and the hours started ticking by. 10 o'clock turned into 11, which turned into 12, turned into 1, turned into 2. Basically what happened is I did a Skype chat with her for up till from 10 to 6 in the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning. I haven't done that since like middle school. I really haven't. It was the craziest thing. And the more we talked in the Skype chat, we were doing dumb stuff. I was showing her little baby pictures of me. She was showing me her, I was showing my little puppy. She was showing me this pink flamingo she had, and some of her pictures. You know, she was showing me how she can do a trick where she can touch the tip of her nose with her tongue. We were just being goofy. But the cool thing was, I really started caring about this girl. We started really making a strong connection over the Skype chat. 6 hours of talking. I mean, it was intense for me, right? The next day I go out. And then I got to see the other extreme, the other flip side of this coin. Met a girl, she was a tourist, she was visiting from LA, and I started sexually escalating on her, because I'm like, I'm never going to see this girl again, right? I might as well just go for it tonight. Sexually escalated hard and powerful, and I did. Now, I live in Fort Lauderdale, so that's an hour away from Miami, so I couldn't bring her back to my place. She was there with the two friends who were very strict about, you know, they're very good girls. And I couldn't bring her back to that place, so I'm like, fuck, what do? I just started escalating like a madman. Found a dark corner with a little bed, because it was like an outside area, and just started escalating. I just reframed all resistance, you know, just kept going and going. Eventually I got an in-venue lay with this girl, which is basically the height of like a sexual escalation. Right then and there, she was on top of me, and we're doing it. Back to back. I got to see the power of these two together. Both were fucking amazing. Both, you know, as a man, gave a lot of value to me. And the idea that I realized is, these are both really powerful. I want these to connect. I want these to integrate. I got to see the extremes of both. Now, how cool would it be of finding that amazing girl that made that strong connection with, who I'm also got extremely sexual with? I didn't have the boyfriend, right? That's the idea what I want from you guys. Because this is the stuff, yeah, it's going to soak your wild oats. Yeah, you're going to become a man whore, you know? And you're going to get all the women you want. Threesome, same night lays, all that stuff. It's going to be great. It's fun. It also has another thing. You're also going to find one day maybe the mother of your children. It does all of it. It's up to you guys what you want to make from this. The other cool is, again, I'm going to stress this, how you go about doing it, totally up to you. It is. You can be that, you know, dominant guy that you want to be, that super sexual dominant guy. You can be the funny, dorky, you know, guy, the little quirky guy like me. You can be James Bond debonair, you know, smooth and whatever. You can do however you want. I don't want cookie cutter Sykes. I don't want you doing my style. I want you to do your style. I want this to be natural. That's why I said, what me, my coaches, and my students do, what we do is the same. You see it right here. How we qualify, how we be playful, how we sexually escalate, in what order and stuff, that's up to you guys. That's what you want out of this. So now this is all well and good, you know, what to do to get the girl, right? But how do we actually improve ourselves to get to that level? We could know what to do. I mean, this is basically another confusing theory shit for you guys to be looking over now, and I get it. Last thing I want to do is give you guys more confusion in this, because this guy says this and this guy says that. I get it, right? Problem is, I really want you guys to have this out there. Use it or not, up to you, but I want you guys to see another way, another alternative. A lot of people get caught up, there's only like one or two real structured stuff out there. I want you guys to have an own system you can call your own, and that you can base your own individual identity upon. That doesn't rely on all these stock routines and canned stuff. Or doesn't rely on chaotic things that make no sense. Sure, I feel good, but what the hell do I do? When hopefully I was able to integrate both of these, right? But now, how do we actually get good? That's also important. How do we learn how to game the right way? Well, there's a few things. One is practice. Everyone talks about that, right? But how do we practice? Everyone talks about practice, right? You know what it comes down to? It comes down to commitment. How committed are you? Who are the guys that are going to do this, get a few rejections, and say, screw this, and leave? Because the guys who are committed, practice is a byproduct of commitment, right? I had blind faith in this. It was either this worked or I was doomed. I couldn't stop because stopping would be going back to a life that I didn't want to live. Again, I just had blind faith, and I got that commitment from that. I had to keep going. That's what's going to get you out practicing. You can say practice, but what does that mean, right? I went out and did one set. I practiced. Maybe that is what it means to you. Maybe that is your commitment level. But again, it's not practice that's going to get it. I mean, it is, but what is going to get it is your commitment to this lifestyle, to improving yourself, to helping yourself. You know what? The whole idea of this is to give value and get investment. There's one thing I'll always invest in. That's myself. That's my own game. If you're going to invest in anything, invest in yourself, right? Makes sense. But there's other ways we can get good while we're practicing, while we're being committed. One thing I hinted on earlier now is asking why. What? Evaluate. Yeah, think. Again, question all that I teach you. Evaluate, right? Don't just take this for my word. I don't want you to just be like, okay, this shit works, right? He said it works, it works. Question it. Evaluate it. Think about it. Think about it logically. And you know what? Go apply it. Experiment with it. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Because I've yet to see it. But again, I could be. The only way you could find truth in anything is to constantly test it with time, again and again and again. I want this tested 20 years from now if it's still out. I do. Because every time it's tested and it proves a test, it becomes more true. And until it's tested, it's not really that true. So I'm urging you guys, I want you to do this. I want you to challenge me in this. The other way of getting good. Now this was a big one. This is what actually I feel got me real quick because I had this mentality. Somewhere within the first month, I adopted this mentality. And that got me quicker than most of the guys I was winging with at the time in my own local lair. And that is I always led the set. I was always leading it someplace. And in my head, that's what's really separate. That's the one real thing I think that separates an intermediate guy from an advanced guy. An advanced guy is always figuring out where to take it. How do I lead it? Where do I go with this? I'm not getting that 2-hour set that goes to nowhere. I'm leading it somewhere. The intermediate guy is like, I got all this cool stuff to do, but I don't know where I'm going with it, but hopefully something happens. No, it's your job. Someone said masculinity, right? Your job to lead the fucking set. Your job as a man to make it happen. She's not going to do it for you. So how do we know where to lead it to? How do we know where to go? The idea of mini goals. Just create mini goals for yourself. First we open, then maybe we transition, right? Then, eventually we isolate someplace. Eventually we need to bounce her out. Whatever. I made a list of what my mini goals were. And I kept adding to it. And the more mini goals I added, the smoother my game became. Because it wasn't this big jump to something I'm trying to do. It was now, this mini thing. Instead of isolating her, what if I just mini isolate her, then get visual isolation, then I totally isolate her? It became much smoother, but I had all these little mini goals I kept doing. All right. I want to talk to you guys about some stuff. I have to wrap this up. But one thing I do want to talk to you guys about is this new project I'm doing called Girl Attract. You can find it at girlattract.com. And what I'm doing for you guys is creating a lot of videos on all different how-tos. Because again, I teach you a lot of what to do, but it is good to have some how-tos, have some ideas, right? And this covers everything from day game to how to isolate properly to what to do when you're having a movie night and you're sitting here and the girl is sitting there. I was in that situation, that big space of doom, right? So I come up with all these scenarios and I'm always asking for questions and what's the next thing, little segments, right? And I throw these videos out and you can find them at girlattract.com and you can see this. And the greatest thing is it's only $20 a month. And if you actually say you're part of the 21 convention and people watching this at home, the first month is on me. I'm that confident. I want you guys to see it. You sign in, I will reimburse you for that first month. If you like it, cool, stay on. If not, don't even worry about it. No hard feelings. All right? And each month I'm going to upload new videos. However, the real thing that got me good wasn't, getting a bunch of products and information. It was actually getting mentored. It's actually getting taught. Having a guy who's more advanced than me watch me work and start critiquing. Because there's going to be stuff in your game that you cannot see for yourself. You can't. But when someone else sees it, someone's watching you, and again, not like you and your buddy. That's like the blind leading the blind. A guy who knows what he's doing, a mentor. And when I got mentored, that pushed my game hard. That's what's going to do it. So I want to tell you some stuff I have going on, and hopefully you like it. But before I do, I want to ask you guys a simple question. How many people here really are that committed to improving their lives? How many people, I mean it, like, how many people really want to get this thing handled? Okay. That's good. I want you guys committed. And hopefully that commitment shows when you are practicing and going out there. So one thing I want to talk about is something coming up in Las Vegas. I got a workshop going on. Now, if you don't know about what Las Vegas is, it's a new country, it's a different country and not. It is basically like the same nightly capital of the world. There's a famous model there. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I have seen the craziest shit known to man happen in this city. All right? It's like meant for it. It's a place where an AFC will go to become a god, so to speak, right? You will have, it is the craziest nights. It's meant for that. It's specifically designed so that crazy shit occurs in Vegas. The gambling, the lights, the free alcohol in most places, like it's nuts. And I started finding a really cool thing to happen when I was doing these workshops there. I would do these week-long programs, and these students of mine would be like getting threesomes or like multiple same-night lays, and like I pride myself in getting some good results for my guys, but this was like unreal. I mean, it was a fucking like gold mine doing this place. And if you really want to understand it, I would suggest, how many people here watch The Hangover? Yeah. That basically is Vegas. Next time I go there, I kind of want to steal a tiger. But what's going on there now is we're doing two things. One is a 7-day program. All right? You come into Vegas, you get a hotel with us, and basically you got 7 days to do this. So the first program, 7 days. And what this includes is a 2-to-1 ratio of instructor, which means it's you, your wing, and an instructor. I used to work with companies that were about 4-to-1 ratio, something 5-to-1 ratio. And I'd be doing it, and I'd have like these 4 guys, and I'd be watching 2 over there. Like one guy's behind me doing something, another guy's like running around somewhere, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'd be fucking like Sonic or something running around this place. Right? So I realized that doesn't work. You can't do, and when you do these programs, ask about this 4-to-1 ratio does not work. It's a 2-to-1 ratio at all times, right? I also have another program for you guys, and this is what I'm really excited about. This is the first time I'm doing it, and I can't even tell you how like antsy I am for this. The other thing I'm doing, the 10-day Apprenticeship Program. Now the 10-day apprentice program, what does this entail, right? The first thing intense personal coaching. You're going to come on for the 7-day thing, you get the 2-to-1 ratio, but the last 3 days, it's one-on-one with me, guys. Work with each individual one of you. And it's nonstop. It's pretty much almost like sleep deprivation. You're going to be out gaming. We're going to be pushing you guys inside again and again. You're going to be learning this stuff inside and out in Vegas with us. The second thing we're going to be doing, if that's not enough, is we're going to add a little technology to it. I'm going to be micing all of you guys up. So that way, when you go in set, I'm going to, just like I'm a little bit mic'd up, I'm going to be hearing everything you say. I'm not going to be just watching you over there. I'm not going to be the creepy guy trying to stand like this, like listening. I'm going to be the guy all the way in a corner just watching you and hearing every single thing you and the girl says. We got the technology. We're doing coaching to a whole new level at this point. The other cool thing is, a lot of times I'll watch a guy in set, he'll come back to me, and then I spend like 10 minutes where he's breaking down what happened. I don't need that anymore. I know what happened. I heard it. I just tell you what to do, tell you what I heard, tell you the fixes I see, go to the next one. Come back, this is what happened, go to the next one. You don't need to say a word. You just listen, go to the next one. I got you mic'd up, right? And that includes even the 7-day program. But there's a special thing I'm doing for the 10-day guys. I'm videotaping your asses. You're going to get the hidden camera in field. All right? And this way, you're going to get to see yourself at the end of all of it. And I'm going to break down exactly and be like, see how you did that? You see? You don't have to remember it. I have it on tape. Look at the reaction. Watch. You can start critiquing yourselves now. And I'm going to be going through all these tapes with you at the end of the night. So while the 7-day guys go to sleep, not your asses, the 10-day guys, we're staying up and doing a debrief with their actual videos. But it actually doesn't end there. Whoever does this, it's an apprenticeship program. It's not 10 days. I get about 1 year of free boot camps after that. For an entire year, every boot camp I do, I want you there. Come on, keep learning. You're going to shout at me and learn with this stuff. Because you want to know the real reason why I'm doing this? It's called an apprentice for a reason. I'm looking for my new instructors, especially here. I'm looking for my European team. I'm looking for the guys that really are committed, that want to actually maybe do this for a living, that want to travel around, make money doing what they love to do. But I would need to see guys who progress very well, who have the time and the patience to learn this skill, and who has the ability to actually coach. And that's going to be teaching you another thing, how to coach yourself and the students. I got to find my guys. I want Europe. I want it bad. So I need that Europe team, right? So now I want to ask you a question. Now, again, this kind of thing is, going to be a little pricey, right? How much do you think this guys would cost? I want a random guess. If you saw this online, how much do you think this would cost? $1,200. $1,200? Which program?
Well, not just this.
Right. 10-day apprentice thing, the personal coaching, getting mic'd up, getting videotaped and debriefing, and 1 year free boot camps.
10,000.
About 10,000?
Yeah, it should be worth 10,000.
More than 10,000? 12,000? I mean, most boot camps are what, like $3,000, right? 12? What if I said for you guys, I'd be doing it for 2,000 and change? 2,100. I want it affordable for you guys. I don't want to be the one who's like dangling this magic carrot over your head and you'd be like, you can't have it. give me 10 grand, give me 12 grand for it. I don't know about you, but when I was first learning about this, I didn't have 10 grand or 12 grand to shell out. I wanted this fucking bad. But the problem is, I had this little thing called actually having to live. I had to pay rent. I had to buy food, right? I don't want to be that guy that's going to bankrupt you. Also, the 7-day one, $997. The thing is, though, it is going up, though. If anyone wants to sign up, if anyone really, again, I want to ask again, how many people here really are that committed? And whoever's raising their hand, whoever's really that committed, I want to talk to you. I want to see you guys after this. Because those prices are going to be lasting until the end of lunch, basically. We got about like 15 minutes. After that, it goes up to about, $2,997. But I do want to see those committed guys. I want a Europe team. I want to make this affordable. All right? Now, the last thing I want to say is, I do want to talk to whoever wants to come to lunch, whoever wants to learn more about this and ask questions and, see how bad you guys want this, come out to lunch with me, okay? We can just talk about it. And lunch is where?
The Indian place downstairs.
Indian place downstairs. I'm going to be eating there. You can pick my brain. We can talk game. We can talk about the program, all of it, right? I want to see that guy that's committed. Again, though, if you're not, I want to stress this out, though. I don't care about the money so much. It's already cheaper than a boot camp. A normal boot camp is $3,000. This is already cheaper than that. It's not about the money. What I do want to see is a guy who really is committed. A guy who really wants to do this, who can see himself doing this. I want to see a guy that will do what it takes to get where he needs to be. If you're going to come in, you're just going to be like, yeah, I'll read it and then I'll just, go back to the computer and type some stuff up and go inform. No. I'm telling you right now, I don't want you. But if you can see yourself doing this, yes, please talk to me. Okay? The other thing is something just for you guys, everyone here, whether you want to do this or not, tonight I'm doing a free infield 2-hour session with everyone. Wow. Come out with me. I will personally get each one of you, do a set or two. I will critique what I see for free. All right? That is my gift to you guys. You don't need to do this. Just come out. I will plan it out maybe over lunch. I'll tell you where I'm going to be, and we'll figure something out, all right? With that said, I'm done, letting you know all about this, whatever. If you have any questions, I'm here. What do you guys got?
Yeah, got one.
Yes. It can be about a program, game, anything.
Actually, it's the early part of your speech. You were talking about vibing back then.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about where you're from New York. Oh, and how about the cars in New York? Something like that, whatever.
Right.
First of all, props to that because I've heard it a lot more and it really works. My question though was, how did you become good at vibing? Because, well, it became better, but not the next level, so to speak.
Basically, the question is for everyone is, how do you get good at vibing? How did that happen? Well, I'll tell you how it didn't happen. It didn't happen by having a pre-programmed response to everything a girl says, or forcing a routine to fit a situation. What happened was I had to gain social intelligence. I had to develop a system of how can I just talk to a girl and be normal, right? So I had to have these conversations where it kind of went to nowhere a little bit sometimes. And then I had to have other conversations that started kind of going well. I started breaking down, why did this kind of crumble? Why did this not go well? Why did this go well? A few things. One is I didn't do interview stuff anymore. I was actually making statements and relating stuff in my own life. I was looking for commonalities with a girl instead of just talking about whatever, oh yeah, I like that too. No, I didn't like that. Whatever she's talking about. I looked for the stuff I did. I looked for the stuff I can actually talk and relate to her on, right? A lot of times you try to be fake when we vibe. The girl says, I like horses. Oh, I like horses too. Horses are, no, I don't care about horses. I'll say, cool, well, what else do you like? Knowledge, cool, she likes horses. Well, what else, right? Make some statements with it. Again, but really the way I've done it was it just being normal, just hanging out with a bunch of women. You know what really helped me with vibing, actually? This was a strong one, and I encourage all of you guys to have it. How many people here have at least 5 close female friends that you can bring out anytime and they'll come out with you and party with you? A lot of hands just went down. All right. For those who do, kudos. For those who don't, the idea of this is to have women in your life. Maybe she's a friend, but I guarantee that female friend has other female friends that you can now get with. Normal guys don't really do cold approach too much. Yes. Real quick though, but when it comes to vibing, just hanging out with women without the intention of picking them up, just chilling with them, seeing what they talk about, seeing what they talk about with each other, you learn how to talk with them. You learn how to vibe naturally, but yes.
Yeah, that thing with a close friend thing, that they have other friends that you can make up
Yes.
with. But, I find that to be rather, difficult situation with, because, when you're close friends with a girl, that's a friendship you don't break. I mean, if you're really, really close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really the same with her friends, but it's sort of like intervene, You can't, you see what I mean? It's like, yeah.
So basically, if I can paraphrase, you become friends with a girl, and once you become friends with her, you start kind of becoming friends with her friends.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing, right? Here's the difference between what's going on here. When I become friends with a girl, I'm not in her friend zone. She's in my friend zone.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big, powerful difference between the two. I literally have girls who I take out to lunch who are saying, why aren't you interested in me? Why don't you want me? And I go, because we're friends. You're a nice girl. She'll be like, but all guys want me. Why don't you want me? And I'm like, because you're my friend. I do the same shit to them that they do to us. If it worked for us, why wouldn't it work for them, right? Another difference. Most people have female friends. They call them friends, but they're not friends. They're orbiters.
Mm.
They do shit for the girls. They hack around. They hold the girl's purse and stuff. They're like, oh, but she's my friend. No. My friends, I would spank them on the ass. I'll hug them. With one friend, I'm the official boob checker. I don't even know how I got that job, but it's awesome. She'll be trying dresses on. She'll be like, "Is the cleavage good? Can you feel them? Is it good?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's fine. It's nice boobs. Yeah, it works. That dress is better. Like the cleavage, push it again. You know." I always had that little bit of sexual undertone with my friends. Not all. Some of them, very much like my sisters, But a lot of them, I'm always playful. I'm always flirting. But we're just friends. Yeah, I'm checking your boobs out, playing around with it, but we're friends. Yeah, I'm spanking your ass, or you give me a lap dance. Maybe we make out once or twice, but we're friends. There's a big, powerful difference of how we go about making these friends. Right. And once it goes in your friend zone, you can always, bring her out of that. I'm not talking about being an orbiter here, okay? So if you're experiencing that, when you meet her friends, flirt with the friends. It's okay. Sometimes we're too worried about, social circle. I got to be very careful, and I fell into that trap.
Yeah,
I gotta
it's
be
a really big trap. It's
I got to be very careful. It's a friend. I can't flirt. No, we can flirt. We just can't do it the code approach style of, picking her up and doing all this crazy shit. No, granted, but we can still flirt. We can still build a little bit of tension. We can still give her a little cocky smile every now and then. It's okay. It's expected. We're a guy, they're a girl, it's understood.
Yeah.
You're not going to ruin friendships by flirting, okay? It's harmless. It's cool. It's fine. You can still be warm to a friend, and then you can still be playful and vibe. You can be playful in a little bit sexual ways. You can vibe about sexual topics. You can qualify her in sexual topics. You can escalate, slowly but surely. It does work. It's a social circle game. It's the same thing as code approach, except it's a little bit slower, and you got to be a little bit more aware of the rules of it. But sometimes we get too extreme, and we think there's too many rules we can't break. Not the case. They will let things slip because, again, you're the guy, she's a girl. It's understood. All right, there's a question.
Well, what are your end goals with those girls? Just a friendship relationship?
Depends. Some girls I really like. They're like, honestly, I call them my sisters. If anyone looks at my Facebook, you're going to see a list of like 5 or 7 girls, and they're listed my sisters. Not really my sisters, but they're my sisters, right?
Yeah.
I'm not touching those girls. They're my sisters. I look at them. They're all hot. They're all fun. They all come out with me and party with me. They give me pre-selection. They will be my wing girls. They'll introduce me to other girls. I'll get with their friends, but those are my sisters. Some girls I get very sexual and flirty with, and we have that sexual undertone. And sometimes we hook up now and then. Sometimes then we go back to friends. Other girls, they turn into friends with benefits, right? You can make it what you want. You can structure it to be whatever you want. Depending on the type of girl, her personality, what I feel for her is what I'm going to make it.
But it something sounded like the gay best friend thing, It's
all
a
I'm
little
doing
close.
is
It's
being
a
the
small
friendly
line.
warm. What?
It's a small line. you're in the.
The small line gets broken by these things: being playful, having fun with sexual topics,
Yes.
qualifying her and getting her to do shit for me instead of me doing stuff for her. The friend zone nice guy, whatever, does shit for the girl, right? You want to get attraction, make sure she's also doing shit for you. She's qualifying. She's trying to prove herself to me and work for me a
So
little
you're
bit.
like the gay friend, but you're not gay. Because
Yeah. I can go-
that relationship is almost the same because the gay guy does the stuff. He checks her boobs, spank her in the ass. I don't know, dance, lap dance.
No, but
stuff.
it's understood though. They know it can go hardcore at any kind of point. It's not like, oh, I'm just playing your ass, but no, it's innocent. No, it's like.
Believe me, they will. I know some guys, and you're not fucking gay.
Yeah.
They're just
They know
playing
what's up.
around
They
with-
see me in action. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's that underlying sexual tension. That's the best way I can put it.
So, but
The gay guy, the gay friend, so to speak, it's just, oh, I'm one of the girls, right? I can mentally relate to be one of the girls. I can talk to them about boys and whatnot, but there's always that underlying tension, that always simmering heat that can explode at any moment. And the other thing is I don't just stick around. I shape it as I go. I don't get stuck in one zone unless I want to be, and that's fair. You can have girls you're just friends with, like my sisters. Other ones, though, you progress quickly. You do sexually escalate on. You do make your intentions clear, right? For example, the girl I had in venue lay with, I guarantee I didn't go in the friend zone with her,
yeah.
right? You structure it how you want it to be. And you have that choice, depending on how much emotional connection, how much you sexually escalate. It's all tit for tat, how you play with it. But, again, having a social circle of women around you, extremely important. We got into this to have women in our life, not men. Maybe when you start, but fair though, when I did start off, I did kind of start off, you know, as kind of like the gay friend, so to speak. I was just making these friends. And you have to learn how to do it properly. You have to learn how to take risks and what the right risks are, and you have to be willing to lose some friends in the process to know where those boundaries are. It's a learning process just like code approach. It's the same thing. You win some, you lose some. All right, answer your question?
Yes.
All right. Yes? Any other question?
You know, everybody keeps going back to the same term, you know, sexual tension. And I find it difficult to put words to it. Like, would you try to define it, especially the tension part? What's going on there?
Defining sexual tension. It's when you know something's about to happen sexually, but it's not happening yet, but you know it's coming. All right? When you know you're about to kiss this girl and you feel that, oh, you know, it's about to happen. Our faces are getting a little bit too close. Something's about to happen. It builds that tension. It's that foresight of something sexual occurring.
So it's the expectation.
Expectation. They expect it. They don't know for sure, and it kind of creates the tension, but they're expecting it, right? It's a little bit more certain, and things are happening a little bit more than just friendly, right? You're getting a little bit too close. You're talking about sexual topic a little much. You know, there's some teasing going on a bit. And it starts creating that sexual tension. And then the idea is you create a little bit of it, and then you release it, but then you create it a little bit stronger. Then you release it and create it a little bit stronger. And it stacks until the release is sex, the ultimate release.
So it's kind of the ambiguity and the mystery, you know. You're not quite sure what to make of it. You have a certain expectation, but
It's not, don't think of it as ambiguity. Because then you're playing this whole style of game of, oh, I'm not really that into you. Maybe I am, but no, I'm not really into you. No, it's like, we're both into each other. We both know what's about to happen. It's that expectancy. When? I'll tell you when. Right? That's the difference. She knows it's going to happen. She doesn't know when. That's my choice. Right? That's going to build the tension in her. That's what's going to get her juices flowing. All right. So time for one last question? All right. One more question. Who's going to be? You all good? Everybody knows everything here? Okay.
Cool questions, by the way, from everyone else. I wanted to expand a little bit more on the vibing. Say you have a situation, and because this happens to me sometimes, I'm talking for like, let's say 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying, just doing or being, whatever. But suddenly my mind drops blank, and I do not know what to say. So it's not in the cold approach, well, I don't know what to say as well, but I just keep my mouth open.
Right. It's a common problem. Again, that idea of we run out of things to say, and that is a vibing issue. Answering, I literally go an hour or two on how to vibe properly. I do games to play. I show them the exact structure of vibing. It's a little bit. You're asking a question that takes a much longer answer than what I have time right now.
Yeah.
It does come with practice. What I would say though is, short run. There are structures to it, and I teach you exactly how to do it the right way. But short answer, get out of your own head, right? Stop trying to be the guy that's always trying to find the perfect thing to say. Because what happens is we get anxious. She said, what do I say now? What do I say now? I got to do something, right? And you're immediately in the wrong frame. As soon as that happens, if I catch myself in that frame, I immediately correct it. Because you're in the wrong frame. Now you're trying to impress her. Now you're trying to do something for her. Now you're the guy investing, right? Worst frame. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. You know what? If worst case scenario, let's say you blank out. Admit it. Say whatever the fuck's on your mind. I'd be like, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm totally blanked out.
I had that, and then I blanked out again.
Yeah, be blanked out. You know what? Okay, then you know what? Okay, cool. Fine. This guy blanks out, right? How about if I show you? Okay, and I bet you felt awkward too, didn't you? I bet you're like, fuck. How do I keep this going? Like this girl's. Oh my god, I'm rooting with this girl, right? You blanked out. I don't know what to say. Okay, cool. Let's take this guy. What if I showed you a way where you can flip that and put it on her? Where she feels what you were feeling and you're just sitting back smiling.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. So let's show you how to do that, right? Very simple. I've been talking a lot of this time. I don't know what to say. Tell me some stuff about you. And then just shut the fuck up. Right? She go, what do you want to know? I don't know. What do you want to tell me? Shut the fuck up. All right? Because now, guess what? All that social pressure is on you. Yeah. Now she's the one feeling socially awkward. And she wants to fix it. Well, I don't know. I like to dance. Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, you want more? Yeah. What about dancing? Well, I don't know. I like salsa and tango and whatnot. Cool. Yeah. What else? Just shut the fuck up. All right? Again, this idea of I'm not trying to impress your girl. It's not me trying to work my ass off for her. If I do want to give value, granted, but how about instead of me feeling socially awkward, how about she feels that she's losing it? How about we get that old mentality of you're the prize? Why are you the one worrying about losing this girl? How about we get her worrying about losing you? Now, granted, we don't want this girl feeling awkward around you 24/7 here. I mean, let's be honest. But a little bit's not bad. And when she does find some stuff, oh, look at that. Qualification, guess what we can do now? Now we have all new types of topics to talk about.
Yeah.
And based on what she says, we can then respond with our own ways of doing it. However, if any time a girl makes it feel social awkward for me, I can bring it right back and make it social awkward for her by just shutting the fuck up. We don't need to be the blabbermouth. We don't need to keep talking. We don't need to be the guy that's constantly entertaining the girl, right? It's 50-50. It takes two people to have a conversation, unless I'm doing a speech. But it takes two people to have a conversation. Why is all the weight on you? If she's not living up to it, just get her to add up to it. All right. I'm Psych, guys. Thank you for your time. Oh, and one more thing. For those that are interested, I have my own blog out right now. It is psychofgame.com, psychofgame.com. And you can contact me at psychofgame.com. I urge you guys to go check it out. A lot of free articles, sexual escalation, how to transform, what? 21 convention video, my spot on MTV. I do all different videos on there. There's all kinds of stuff for you guys to check out. The different programs I run, ways to contact me, everything. Especially on this trip, I'm going to start updating it. I got a lot of stuff I'm going to be updating it really frequently. So start watching it in the next week or two because I've got more than enough shit in my head to put on that thing right now. All right? Check it out. Hope you like it. I'm Psych again. Thank you guys. Glad to be here. Yes.